All right, the December 5th, 2025 Middlebury Town Council meeting will be called to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kent Kaufman,
Here.
Mike Holloway,
Here.
Gary Kripe,
Here.
Carl Miller,
Here.
and Kevin Miller.
Here.
All right, at this time, we'll open the floor for public comments. Ready? All right, we'll move on to unfinished business. Personnel.
So I can give a quick intro discussion on this. So right now, we're sitting as the Public Safety Board. At this time, we're looking at potential disciplinary action, and that would require us to make certain findings and decisions that a officer is guilty of a specific, something like a breach of duty or breach of discipline. And then we also need to make sure that we're clear what our findings of fact are for that disciplinary action. And those standards apply to any disciplinary action or suspension in excess of 5 days. One consideration is that if it's going to be a suspension in excess of 5 days, the first 5 days need to be with pay, in my reading of the statute. And so, because that would offer the individual an opportunity to request a hearing. That's their sort of response time period. And then as far as how long that suspension would last, if that's the way you go, or other disciplinary actions that you choose to take at this time is sort of part of what we're here to finalize. So, if you have any questions on that, but I'll turn it over to Bobby if he has anything to add.
So it's been discussed in executive sessions, the issues with the officer. It's not changed. We were almost 7 weeks into it. The performance has not changed. So it's time to take the action.
That was when we put the light duty role in there as a
Yeah,
temporary.
I believe it was October 14th we did the light duty.
Yes.
So we're nearly 2 months into the
Yeah.
original assignment
Yes.
to light duty.
The requests that were made were not followed up on.
Is it your opinion that this officer is not going to do the things that will get them in a place to be able to perform duties?
No, and in 2 months, they have not attempted to do those when asked to. A day off was requested to make arrangements, but never did. They're trying to do it on their own, not what was recommended or told to do.
So I read through all three of the memos that Jackson provided, and just drawing on, years of disciplinary experience with employees, what I see is a lack of taking direction and taking seriousness to address the issue that this officer has, having nearly 2 months to have done something. And as looking at it as public safety, we need to fill that position.
Yes.
And to fill that position, we need to vacate it. So my recommendation would be the suspension pending termination. Because I don't see a good faith effort from this officer to do the things that are necessary.
Is that the beginning December 8th and ending on the 12th?
That's up for discussion.
It's the third one.
I have blank versions for the dates that I would say, yeah.
It's the one where the action calls that the suspension is for looking for termination, the way it's worded. That the idea is that we suspend and then termination, giving the officer an opportunity to resign. I read through the other, I mean, basically the tops are the same, but the actions are different, right? Suspension with pay for whatever it was, 10 days or whatever, suspension without pay, which 5 days would be paid. Those two seem to me to be giving the officer an opportunity to go do something. This officer's had that opportunity, well beyond a suspension period. Because there's been little to no action, I think we have no choice as addressing public safety to suspend working toward termination so that we can vacate that spot and fill it with an officer who can perform those duties. And that's my recommendation.
And I would concur with that recommendation.
I also would too.
You nailed it.
So now it's just a matter of determining dates
Okay.
for the suspension.
Yeah,
Correct.
well, would that be effective today or Monday? And
When's her schedule? When-
She will be back Monday, for sure.
Because she has the car now, and you don't want her to leave with the car, so.
It's her days off. We can call her in and start it today. But if we can't get a hold of her, if she's not around today or tomorrow, then it wouldn't start until,
when
So
would
do we
you be
just-
able to first deliver the notice to her?
Monday for sure. Monday morning would
I
be.
think-
I would,
Why don't we just
I would
make it
go with
Monday?
Monday.
I agree.
And that's the 8th.
Somebody will have to take her home,
Yeah.
you know, keep her car and at least her weapons, whatever weapons, and if she's got more at
And all the
home.
other things,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so then
Well,
we
she's
would.
got it all in here, what, the vest and.
Right.
I'm more concerned about the weapons.
Yeah. So
well,
are we.
I'm also concerned, I'm a little concerned about a leak of information. It's always been best practice for me that when you're going to do something, do it now, right? Don't let it, I'm a little concerned that we say, well, she has the car and whatever, and if we can't get a hold of her. Well, boy, that should never be the case with a police officer.
Well, and you may be get a hold of her, but she could be, it's her days off. She could be out of town. She could be.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and it's a what, three-day weekend, right? So, I mean, it could, yeah, she could have gone to Chicago for the weekend.
Okay.
I mean, we could always go down and we could attempt to get her in now. Absolutely.
I would recommend that first. So reach out to her, and if she's in town, do that. If she's gone, then she's gone, and okay, then we do Monday. But I would recommend, and it's your department, Marshall, do it the way you want. But I would recommend trying to reach her this morning, and if it's available, do it now. I mean, start the clock. That's my recommendation, but again, it's your department.
If we were to do that, does that change how we do the,
We would just make today's date, and if the marshal says I can't do that, then we could change the date.
Yeah, the 5 days is sort of based on the receipt of the notice. So as long as we can be relatively certain we can get that notice to her in person today, then today would be fine. That would be my only concern.
Sure, okay.
So
Okay.
we're handwriting in the date? Whenever we speak to her, that's when we write the date.
Well, but we have to write it in
it
today
has
to
to
vote
be.
on it, right? Or do we?
I would, that's what I was thinking we would do.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah. Well, if the majority of the council is fine with Monday, then I'm not going to stand in the way of that. That was simply just a recommendation. I know that when it's time to do things, you just do it, if you can do it.
We're all ready.
Yeah, and the worry of the leak of information, I know nobody ever intends that, but it somehow always happens. Right,
We're in public.
we're in public.
Right.
So, her finding out other than us is a hard thing.
Yeah.
So I would recommend that if at all possible, it's done this morning, because as you correctly mentioned, we're live, and we're public. And just that information getting out sooner.
Can we do that with a fill-in date? Or is that,
Well, is it going to be today or Monday? I guess the other only thought I have is if it's her day off, when does it really take effect? If she's not on until Monday?
Instead of a date, could it be date of notification? Or is that too general?
Doesn't have to be the same as the date of notice, but
Since it is her day off, I guess building on Gary's question, since it is her day off, could we start the suspension with pay on Monday, but make the notification today, if possible? And put the dates in as Monday, since it is her day off, and make the suspension start on Monday?
But does that affect retrieving equipment
Well, it shouldn't.
if it's noticed one day and effective at a later time?
I thought, though.
I wouldn't think.
It has to be starting the
Well-
receipt of.
so the complication is the suspension, the 5-day suspension without pay period. One way would be to extend that to more than 5 days with pay.
I thought it was 5 days with pay.
Right. The thing is, it says, before you can suspend someone in excess of 5 days without pay, they need to have been offered that opportunity for a hearing.
Gotcha.
So maybe if you wanted to give that flexibility, you could start the suspension with pay today, but it would be for more than 5 days,
So like 7 days or.
including on the
Including the day
8th,
off.
and then by assuming it would be 5 days from when we believe we could get her the notice.
Okay.
Yeah.
That I think solves the problem, right? I think that's wise, because again, I think the sooner the better. But if we're all agreed that we're okay with more than 5 days pay,
Yeah,
to make the timing happen
Yeah,
correctly.
that's fine.
And I think that would be wise on our part,
Beginning today,
beginning today, right? And then because there's today, Saturday, Sunday off, it would be 8 days.
until the 12th, would be
That'd
next
be-
Friday. That-
She would be scheduled tomorrow, is that what you're saying? What time does she usually come in?
But I think our solution still covers that
I think so.
instance. I think our solution still covers that the suspension with pay would actually begin today, even if the notification came tomorrow. Well, you'd have to.
Yeah, the action is effective immediately, essentially. It's only that it's with pay until that period is run, more or less.
Yeah, yeah,
Just to be
Yeah.
safe, I'd say.
yeah. But the idea would be to do everything possible, reach out today to get her the notification today. I think that's.
And so we would say that with suspension with pay would go till the 12th, next Friday.
correct.
That means you're gonna contact her today to see if she can come in.
If she doesn't come in? I mean, you're, yeah, I mean, you're not sure. No, if she's coming in today. That's still a possibility?
I think if you contact her and tell her you really need to see her, I'm pretty sure you'll see her.
Yeah.
Sure, completely understand. Yep. Completely understand.
And then Jackson, what are the next steps after the 12th?
Well, she has 5 days after receipt of the notice to request a hearing. And if she does, whether she does or does not would change the timeline, because we'd have to schedule that hearing and have that. If not, then we would probably hold another meeting to take another action for the actual formal dismissal, and then she'd have another notice period to
Appeal it or-
to request a hearing on that particular action.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so it would, would that be at our next meeting?
It
On
could
the
be, but
15th?
it would depend on whether she requests a hearing for this, or if
Okay.
we wanted to continue. The termination action would, assuming we go that way, would, isn't really tied to this timeline necessarily. We can take this action, and then at the next public meeting, we could take another action. It would be separate from this. They each have their own request public hearing timeline if she requests that.
Sure. Okay. So,
Do we need a motion for
Ms.
that?
Yeah.
looking for a motion to accept that recommendation, or how do we do it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Basically, a motion to take the
It would be,
disciplinary action.
a motion to affirm the findings of fact and the counts as outlined in the notice of disciplinary action, and any other additional findings of fact that you would want to add in the record if you feel there's anything additional you would want to cite as a reason for the decision. Outlined in the notice is the violation of General Order 17.06, and then also general inability to perform the responsibilities outlined in the job description. Specific requirements in that were the physical requirement and the knowledge and skill and abilities sections, which highlighted certain things that you're expected to be able to perform as part of your job duties. So those were what we're basing the
Could we make the motion?
action on.
Could we make the motion as presented in the written?
Make the motion
that
on what
all
Jackson
In
sounds
the
said.
written reprimand?
Yeah.
Whatever he said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we make it, I mean, legally, can we make it as written? I don't,
I guess, motion to affirm and enter into the record the notice of disciplinary action, and for the suspension with pay pending dismissal.
well, since
And,
I,
yeah, and based on that and this hearing, and the discussions from Officer Baker,
so I would like to make a motion that we accept and affirm the notice of disciplinary action as a written reprimand, suspension with pay pending dismissal, based on the council's discussion, the inability to perform the duties, and in violation of General Order 17.06, and based on the marshal's recommendations and the inability to be physically and mentally fit to perform expected duties, and that the suspension with pay would start on today, what's today, the 5th, 6th?
Fifth.
So start December 5th and go through December the 12th.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions?
I would request a roll call vote, please.
Mike Holloway,
Aye.
Gary Kripe,
Aye.
Carl Miller,
Aye.
and Kevin Miller.
Aye.
Motion carries. We have no more new business. Announcements are the Elkhart County Plat Committee meeting December 11th at 9 a.m. at the Public Services Building. Elkhart County Plan Commission meeting, December 11th at 9:30 at the Public Services Building. And we are adjourned.